let me tell you something. I don't have a drinking problem, okay? And Spice, those videos are tired that you be doing. Anyway, don't be telling people I be late because I'm the new artist and I'm just trying to come out. Really, Tommie? Really? What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Miss Sophia the Diva. I am back here again to conclude, surprisingly, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. This was reunion part 2, the final part. You know, usually they drone these out for like 3 episodes at least. I think one time we had 4, but let's just be real about this entire season. It really didn't give us a lot. They tried to bring us Jocelyn and 2 hot Latin hot mommies, and Erica Mina and Estelita Enchilada just failed us, okay? Erica is a beautiful girl with a nasty attitude. She really is. But when we last left off, Tommie and Spice were locking horns, okay? Somebody on Twitter was like, my money on Spice because she's aggressive. I'm like, no, but Tommie's a little savage, so my money would definitely be on Tommie. Either way, the whole thing was petty. Spice was just like, the whole big thing is that you were not professional. You were not professional. You showed up 3 hours late claiming that your pig was sick, which I understand as a pet parent. Our animals do get sick and you do get concerned. I've taken half days and days off to go to the vet with mine, but those are days that I'm entitled to have off. Also, Tommie kept wanting to go on and on about how Spice's videos were trash and all of them are trash. And Spice was like, everyone's just afraid of Tommie. They're afraid to stand up to her. And I believe to some extent that is true because we've seen the ravages of Hurricane Tommie and it's not cute. It's not beautiful. But she's still in denial about the fact that she has a drinking problem. She wants to say that she's addressing the problem. I truly believe that the ankle monitor was court influenced, if you ask me. She also shared that the reason why she went apeshit during the taping of Rashida announcing that everyone was going to Houston was because she had to go turn herself in for warrants. She was upset with Spice putting it out there that she was 3 hours late. She's like, I'm a new artist. Well, as a new artist, you need to learn how to be on time and respect other people's times. It costs time and money for these camera people to be out there, wardrobe, everything. And a lot of these people tend to be union. So there are certain parameters you have to follow about that. So if you coming out as an artist, you need to have your shit together, Tommie, and stop trying to push the responsibility of your own dereliction onto others. That's just you trying to project onto others what, I mean, it was ridiculous. And she's like, when she said she had to go to jail, it's like, I had to go to the market to get milk. Her dysfunction has become normalized. She was talking about, y'all gonna send me to this damn man. He don't know nothing. He don't know me. He don't have to know you to see that there is an apparent problem. Just in the few sentences that you said to him, we can tell that there's a problem. There's deep denial. There was this, you trying to build up a wall and just basically say you don't need help. And Tommie, you need help. And Miss Sophia the Diva loves you and adores you. And I really, really want you to get some help. And then for you to try to down Spice and ask her why was she on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta if you such a big star. First of all, she's really big in the Caribbean. Love and Hip Hop is a great way to springboard your career. Look at K. Michelle. She is one of the few people that actually has a career, albeit she's batshit crazy at times, but the girl got her shit together when it comes to her music and her business on that particular level. She's another one that probably needs to seek help, and I see that she's trying to get her way back on the Love and Hip Hop. I guess she's just gonna always be part of the franchise, but I think she's coming out in Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. I don't review that. I don't even watch it. And that's in my town. And I don't have any interest in watching it. People use Love and Hip Hop. Those that use it as a tool, they truly use it to springboard themselves into something else. And those that are still on here with always talking about they in the studio, they working on something, those are people that have just come complacent and it's easy money. Now, I don't know about Mimi being around next year. A lot of people on Twitter are saying, what is the purpose of her being on here? Why is she, because she doesn't have anything. She doesn't do anything. She provides excellent comedic relief, if you ask me. Just sitting there eating a burrito, just sitting there looking back, because like she said, I've been on here through season 1, 2, 3, and then it kind of makes you say, well, maybe it is time to move on. So I don't know what Mimi is working on, but I really hope that they do keep her. I like her. Anyway, at one point, Nina asked Tommie why was she laughing when, she's being confronted about things. And she says, people don't know I laugh a lot to keep from blowing up on your ass, basically. And Nina was like, you just keep on laughing, honey. You just keep on laughing. One of the things I did appreciate about when you talk about psychological issues, you have pre-contemplation, the stages of change in which people must go through in order to even change their behavior. It seems as though to me Tommie is in contemplation stage where she's aware of her actions. And so it's like she hasn't, and in some ways she's kind of planning and in the action phase. She's kind of in these 3 different phases because she's going back. So she's contemplating the fact that, yeah, I do need help. So she's aware now that there is an issue. The question is, what is she full-fledged willing to do? Her mother is there. That's another example of some family issues going on there too, because Tommie's mom said that she had to go to the doctor because her body was aching, and she noticed that each time these symptoms came up, it usually had something to do with alcohol. So perhaps there is a history of alcohol abuse in this family bloodline, and perhaps Tommie and maybe her daughters can be the one to break that dysfunctional cycle. So I prayers up for Tommie's mom. I hope that she's okay. It sounds like potentially could be a liver dysfunction, or even just the fact that she's stressed out about something in the family dynamic. We learned that Tommie was willing to bury the hatchet with her sister Versace because of her mother's health. So that's good. And I thought that Tommie's mom looked really cute tonight too. Moving on to Sierra and Keely and Shooter. Nina's so shady. She says Shooter, we found out that Shooter was not out shooting blanks. He got whole babies. And then Keely was like trying to say that Sierra was wrong for moving on. Sweetheart, you've probably never been married is what I'm gathering, number 1. Number 2, when you go through the divorce process in most jurisdictions, what happens is that you file formal separations and start the divorce process. You move out of the marital home or whatever the marital context is for you, tent, apartment, house, condo, whatever your living situation is, and you divvy up things with no intent to return. Sierra had no intent to return to Shooter, and while it is unfortunate that Shooter lost his son, honestly, Sierra had no obligation to show up and provide any form of support. And then Shooter like, she just did the bare minimum. I just felt like it wasn't right for her to do that. She should have been there for me. Bare minimum my ass. You couldn't even do the bare minimum in your own marriage. Love, honor, cherish, be faithful, not procreate outside the marital bed. I mean, you didn't want to be married. You didn't want a real woman that was going to support you. What you wanted was someone to keep the home fires burning and be there conveniently for you. And then when Sierra bossed up and decided to put your trifling ass away, that's when you want to start crying these alligator tears. And it is unfortunate that your son was murdered, and it was from gun violence over some petty stuff. Keely had no right to interfere with anything. That is why she got a designer handbag upside her head, okay? Keely, honestly, throughout this whole process was just angry woman. sitting there like the old church prude on the second row because she mad because the pastor didn't preach a certain way that Sunday. That's what she looked like. Tokyo and some of the other ladies, they were talking about Sierra's interventions with her man, BK. Tokyo said, all in all, Carly has good intentions, but bad delivery. And it really is. Who holds a council meeting if BK's holes to come out? They showed a clip of BK and Joy together. I don't care what no one says. BK has a strong attraction and attachment to Joy. Okay. Now, Sierra did proffer that, you know, they were broken up at the time of this incident. And I was very disappointed in her because she said, well, you know, until I signed the divorce papers, you know, I understand why he was still out and about. But now that the papers have been signed, you know, I'm just going to see where it leads. But if anything comes up, you know, we're just not going to be together. And I'm just like, girl, please don't make excuses for him. He knew that you were formally separated from your husband. I get that he felt uncomfortable about the ideal of you not being divorced. But my whole thing is, why would you even immerse yourself in said situation when you know the situation? Okay, BK, boy, bye. And then Tokyo, as always, has sage advice. She was like, you can sleep with a man and still not keep him. And that's true. Men love the thrill of the hunt. Some of them, not all of them, some of them love the thrill of the hunt. They love the newness of something. And they don't like routine sometimes, some of them are just, they just hoes. And I think BK really is one of them. And I honestly think that Joy is really his private joy, honey. So watch him. So we get to Tobias and Carly. Tobias, who was looking like he was getting ready to go out on the victory tour with the Jacksons in this gold shirt he had on, a sweater. I said, what is this with the men that love hip hop in these sweaters? Stevie up here looking like a damn Christmas munchkin. Baby, he had on fur Gucci slippers and everything. He gone though, y'all. He left. He did his bid and he gone. Jock said, I knew something was going on with Carly and Tobias because Tobias was at Carly's video shoot. What was that, 20 years ago? So he was like, I knew something was going on because there he was with his long arms and shirt off. I'm like, what does that have to do with anything, Jock? But okay, I love him. I love him. He's so comedic. They also talked to Tokyo about what is her status with Spice. And Spice, I'm like, Maury, you said that you were not calling that girl out for her weight. We determined that that was a lie, okay? She was trying to say, from a cultural perspective, in Jamaica, we all call each other by their weight, man, okay? Like, hey, fatty, the bad, oh, the baddie, she's a fatty. And I'm just like, girl, no, when you said it, just like Tokyo tried to say that bitch and bitch is two different things. Either way, don't call me no bitch. I don't care if you think you my homegirl or whatever. Don't call me a bitch. That's one way to set my ass off. Okay, you don't want that. So anyways, just stay away from those terms. I get it. You know, even in the South, you know, my older aunts, and you know, they will say things like, oh, you sure is getting thick, girl, or you know, or if you look too skinny and sickly, they say you po. You can't even have the OR, you just po. So I get it, but at the same time, when Spice delivered that she looked like she already had enough to eat, okay, I was like, yeah, y'all know my Caribbean accents run together with Spanish, so I'm working on that because I need to get some acting gigs. Either way, Spice, yeah, you can't clean that up. And then Tokyo and Keely got into it, and she told Keely, talking about, if I was a booger, you wouldn't pick me because I might make your nose bleed. I was like, oh shit. She got in all the digs on Keely. And then Keely was talking about her and Blue Da Vinci were working with Tobias as an artist. And she was like, she was helping out. And Tokyo was like, oh yeah, like helping make sure he got to the airport. And I was like, oh my God. And then she called her Miss Potato Head. I was like, somebody did a side by side on Twitter. I said, help, Lord. I was screaming. I was like, get it, Tokyo. Because they think that just because she's a big girl that she deserves to be put in a box. No, baby, live in your truth, okay? As long as she healthy, Who cares? And if she's not healthy, who cares? It's not you to determine what her happiness factor is. Then Nina used one of my favorite words. As you know, I love to use the word mealy, because we talked about the mealy that broke out down to the ranch several times. I was like, just like Alex Rogers we talking about good skirmish. We all need a good skirmish. Well, I like a good melee every now and then. So they were trying to figure out what happened with Estelita and Sierra and Spice. Spice, I really didn't understand how she was saying that Sierra was doing a go-between. Sierra was actually trying to be a peacemaker and not be messy. So I don't know how her telling you that she told Tokyo not that she was wrong for hitting you, and that you were also wrong for calling her fat, and then Estelita interjecting herself in this situation because she saw as an opportunity to get back at Sierra about a vegetable tray or something. I don't know, but either way, I was confused and probably checked out at that point. All I know is that Estelita really doesn't have a footing, and she doesn't have a place on this show, really. So she's nipping, she's just grabbing at straws at this point to try to fit in, and it's like it's not working. I just don't see it for you, Estelita. Also, with Keibachi and Blue Da Vinci, by the way, they said that Blue Da Vinci is true black mafia, or was true black mafia. I don't know about all that, but that brother looked good, okay? I was like, ooh, and his voice, honey, it's like Hennessy. Yes. Hey, Blue. What it do? Keely don't come from looking for me, girl. I ain't nowhere to be found, okay? But either way, I just never understood why Keibachi was never told about who the child's father was. You're dating this woman. You're supposed to be in a relationship with this woman. At the very least, you should have known his daddy was Blue Da Vinci. Now, Keely said that time out, well, I didn't want to tell him because, you know, of the intimidation factor. And that's when James Harding, Keibachi was like, first of all, I'm a grown-ass man and nobody intimidates me. And I was like, that's right. You could have just told him. I mean, it is scary because given what we know about Blue Da Vinci in the rumor mill, I'm like, that's not the dude you want to fuck with. I still don't get it. And Keely, that intimidation thing, that dog won't hunt. You tried it. You shot your shot. You won't be back next year. Oh, and I love how Tokyo was like, you ain't broken artist yet. I was like, God damn. Basically, Keely, your whole aura and being on this show, I don't know how you are in real life, but you're trash. I mean, trashy attitude. You strong trash with Sierra and Scooter. You were divisive in nature when dealing with your child's father and keeping them separated. If the man is out of prison and trying to do right, let him. Okay, let the man be a father to his child. Although we're going to do something about them braids. Maybe we need to restyle both of y'all because, okay. Either way, Blue, I'm looking at you, dear. So Mama D is 54 and she looks good. I personally have always thought that Mama D looks good anyway. And let's just say that Mama D can do no wrong in the eyes of this cast, despite the fact that she spilled the beans about her son and daughter-in-law's baby coming. I thought that was inappropriate, but you know, everybody was like, it's Mama D, okay? And Mama D also shared that she really did make over Imani's room, but she was able to get away with it. She said by the time everybody woke up, Winnie the Pooh was everywhere. I was like, I wouldn't be happy about Winnie the Pooh. I used to like Winnie the Pooh, but my adult eyes see some things I just don't like about Winnie the Pooh. Cause I'm like, how he wandering around without no pants on? Like, how long we gonna ignore that? Okay, how long? But anyway, a lot of our cartoons, I'm just like, something ain't right over here. Like, he got no pants on, Jesus. And then the Smurfs didn't have no shirts on, but maybe it was really hot and they needed that. Either way, let me get on to another subject. Carly said that she still wants Jock and that she wants a baby boy by him. Somebody screamed out twins. I told Jock it sounded like a me too, because Jock looking like, I'm not going to procreate with you. I got 10 children already. Nina Parker on national TV gave Erica Mena, who went batshit crazy Looney Tunes on Stevie J for asking could she sing, another opportunity to sing. Sis, run the scale. She was like, Do-re. Okay, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm like, girl, you could have even done the sound of music. Do, a deer, a female deer, ray, a drop of golden sun, me, a name I call myself, follow my way to run. So a needle pulling thread, which brings us back to do. I think that's how it goes. It's been a long time. But y'all know I'm not a vocalist, so don't count on that. But you can run do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, do. You can always run the scales. I mean, you don't have to be a singer to be able to do that. I'm just saying. So Erica Mena, I think in some respects, you owe Stevie J an apology because you can't sing. Estelita, you can't sing. I think that someone else made the suggestion for Erica Mena that there are other avenues in the entertainment business that she may be able to pursue, like being a stylist or starting some sort of fashion line or cosmetic line or something. And since you're Latina, maybe there's skin things that the Latina community are missing. I know that, who is it? Not Penelope Cruz, the other one, has a makeup line for Latinas, Selma Hayek. So, I mean, just think about doing something else. But that's all I've got for this Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Again, I will not be reviewing Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Just not interested in it. I watched it the first season. I do peripheral watches, kind of like how I do Basketball Wives. I've fallen off this season on watching that. I did hear in this latest episode that OG lost her brother, and people were trying to be respectful of that loss, but could not hold back the fact that once again, the wig was not on point, and a lot of her family members' wigs were not on point. So, but either way, that is unfortunate that that has happened, that her brother passed. I don't know the circumstances, but I may get back into Basketball Wives later on. But thank you guys for subscribing. We are now at 305. As of this last video, and I want to thank you guys for subscribing. If this is your first time here, please click that subscribe button. Help a diva out. Also, I got Cash App down below that. I also have a closet on Poshmark that you can also shop some things, especially if you're a size 10 or anywhere between in shoes, and if you are anywhere from a medium to a large to a size 16 in women's clothing. So there you go. I don't have any plus size items, but I do have like 14s and 16s out there. So I have been Miss Sophia the Diva. Prayers up for Tommie Lee. I truly hope that if the show truly wants to support one of their members, they will get her some help, and that help may even include not allowing her to renew her contract with Love and Hip Hop. No one wants to see somebody hit rock bottom, but sometimes bottom may be where she needs to go. But I like Tommie Lee. I think she has a good heart, and I think that I hope that she's striving to thrive in this life. That's all I've got. I've been Miss Sophia the Diva.